Okay, so what I want to cover here is the inflation sequence. So we've got the inflation sleeve. It's just a thin-walled plastic tube. Off the bulkhead on the bottom here, you need to run the hose to just a hose barb to whatever hose is coming off your regulator or lift gas tanks. It flows in here, and then you'll see this slides up over the valve assembly. So the first thing we want to do with this is we need to command the valve to open fully and indefinitely. Okay. So it starts opening up. The line to the line harness to the flight train, we're just going to tuck up in this as we slide it on. We'll put it in the inflation sleeve, and then we align the valve to slide down in it as the valve's opening here. Now we need to push this up over, there's a ridge here, and that'll actually form an airtight seal. And so we just carefully slide up the sleeve onto it. Oops. There we go. You can see that it goes all the way around. It will hit the burn wire block here, but it does go up over that ridge and seals quite nicely. So now we've got the valve open. You'll have the hose off to your inflation regulators. The valve, and so now your lift gas can come in the bottom. It'll hit the bottom of the valve itself, this PCB, and get diffused that way, and then come up through these gaps, through the valve, and into the balloon itself. So at that point you'll want the balloon laid out on your plastic sheet to protect it. You'll inflate it, and then once you get it to that point, you'll turn off your tanks, and then you can command the valve to close. There we go. So command the valve to close once the balloon's fully inflated. You'll need to take the lift from the balloon. You'll need to add a strap around this balloon neck insert and tie it down to something so that your balloon, of course, doesn't float away. Once the valve shuts, then we can take the inflation sleeve off. Okay, so it's shut up. So now we just take this inflation sleeve off. And then at that point you can attach, the rigging harness to the rest of your flight train, and then take this strap off because you'll no longer need it. Just to be on the safe side, I would recommend burping the valve, so we'll open it up to 5%. So we'll set the position equal to 5, and then we will ask it to vent for duration of 0. So the valve will just open a little bit and reseat, just to make sure nothing happened there. Now at that point we're sure that the valve is well sealed against the bottom. The problem is, depending on how this sleeve goes on, it can apply a bit of torque and change how the valve itself is sealing. So just as a precaution to make sure everything's working, you will lose a very small amount of lift gas doing that, but it should be negligible.